there is something that has affected people's lives for many years. It is one of the worst discrimination in the world. Did you know that back when racism was really bad, police used to raid people of colour's houses just because they were a different race or skin colour? They destroyed their homes, tore furniture apart, and tried to find documents to kick them back to their own country. Now, this cause is called racism. Racism is one of the worst discriminations that has been going on for many centuries. Racism is when someone makes a bad comment or joke about someone that is maybe a different race, skin colour, religion, upbringing. It can be very hurtful no matter what someone says about you. Racism can also happen at anywhere, anytime. Maybe if you're at a pub or a game, you name it. I'm sure it still can occur. Do you think something like that has ever happened to you that might have hurt your feelings related to being racist? If it hasn't, that means you are very, very lucky. Because I want to tell you about a story about what can happen with racism. Close your eyes and I'll tell you a story about a Maori woman just looking for a nice pair of shoes at the Palms Mall. Here it is. A Maori woman was like looking at a nice pair of shoes at the Palms Mall, and the assistant at the shop looked at her like she was stealing the pair of shoes and asked her to leave. And that is just what can happen just out of the blue to anybody. I would like to tell you about racism in the past, and I will be telling you about the 1981 Springbok tour. Racism has been really bad in the past because when the All Blacks went to the Springbok tour, the South African government told New Zealand that they were not allowed to bring any Maoris to the tour no matter what. The New Zealanders went protesting all over the streets, saying that racism was not welcome here. Now that's just the start of it. When the All Blacks were playing against South Africa, people were throwing things onto the field. And they weren't just like plastic bottles or cups. They were throwing stink bombs, gas bombs, and had helicopters flying over, hitting the players with flour bombs and really hurting them, as well as running onto the field, yelling that Maoris should be allowed to play. And if this isn't bad, then what is? Today, I'm here to stop racism, or at least try to get as many people to help stop this cause. Because I want to make a difference to this world and say that all people are born the same, but they just might be a different skin colour. But that won't matter because we are all people. My point is that I want to end all racism so we can feel safe wherever we go or whatever we do. I know that racism is a lot better now than when it was back in the Springbok tour. But I want to stop it all completely so that we can all come together. Because at the end of the day, we are all people. And we all have the same rights. So why should we fight over something just because someone has a different skin, culture, religion, belief, upbringings? And the world would be very boring if we all looked the same. Thank you for listening to my speech.